Can celebrities overdo certain things, without them even knowing about it? Here are 10 times that celebrities have overdone it, and some on the list have paid a heavy price as a result. Welcome to One Away. If you think celebrity life is all that jazz and more, you'll want to watch this video, especially the last part, as it's bonkers. Before that, please leave a thumbs up for us and hit the subscribe button, so that you can get notifications from us on our latest videos. Kim, oh no. Kim Kardashian West is a queen, in many respects, for her beauty and her body. Although her body is something some fans comment as over the limit with her exaggerated shape, this bit is more concerned elsewhere. Kardashian made a brand of shapewear called kimono, which, as one can imagine, raised some eyebrows to the Japanese. While some Japanese appreciated the goals of her shapewear, they found her use of the term kimono, which has meant so much to them over the centuries, as shocking. Of course, as shapewear, it works. It has 9 different color schemes. It has form-fitting material and design. It schemes to match different colors or shades of skin. It fitting can match XXS to XXL. And, as the shape is concerned, it matches Kim's body very well as other people. But, is it kimono? Not, at all. The fact that it is so not kimono is not the main problem. It's that Kardashian wanted to trademark it as if it were her own creation. Madness. In fact, Kyoto, the capital of Japan's tea culture and kimono, sent out a message to Kardashian's agents and told her about the tradition of the kimono, which is uniquely Japanese. Scarlett Johansson is not that good. Turns out, actors can't commit to any role they have their sights on. One can only ask Hollywood bombshell, Scarlett Johansson, to know what that means. Johansson once claimed that she, on her basis as an actor, has permission to commit to any role, ideally. She can commit to any person, or any tree, or any animal. Safe to say, this was a bit over the top, and she has received criticisms from those comments and more. Johansson, in years, has come under fire when it comes to getting roles for characters that ideally should not have been hers, in the first place. She has played Motoko Kusanagi, for example, the main character of the Japanese work, Ghost in the Shell. This had caused a deal of controversy, as the character is Japanese, and this was a kind of circumstance that could diversify Hollywood representation. Some have even remarked that since Johansson has such a huge platform as a Hollywood star, she could have found an approach to help such diversification. But, as critics imply, she overtly uses her privileges in order to wipe the doors of Hollywood clean and dry, for all the worth. Lea Michele, not a supernova. It seems that Glee star Lea Michele's days are behind her, with some saying she deserves it. For a long time, Glee was the show that reunited many people of all kinds. Lea Michele, who starred on the hit show as Rachel Berry, a diva character with great dreams of making it into stardom, had also enjoyed that show glow. When the show ended, it seems her career did also, with a not-so-successful music career, and minor roles in shows and movies, if at all. In the show, Rachel Berry was not liked by a lot of characters. And, as sad as it has come to many a Lea Michele fan, it seems the character was based on her overbearing personality. Lea Michele was not a good person to her co-stars. Glee actor Samantha Ware has come to say that Michele made her set life a living hell, and that Michele would shit on her wig, and told everyone on set about it, too. Other Glee stars have also made some not-so-great comments about Michele, with some recalling their memories of getting tagged as cockroaches. Some even got called by Michele as subhuman, prompting them to leave the show. Co-star Naya Rivera, in her memoir, remarked that Lea Michele had a difficult time separating her work from her friendships. Rivera would sometimes get Michele's blame for anything or everything that went wrong. After all the backlash, Michele's meal sponsor, HelloFresh, put her out of sponsorship. What she plans on committing to next is up in the air. Hartley Sawyer and old tweets. In circumstances very common in culture today, many celebrities are getting hit by the old information that has brought into the discussion. It happened with director James Gunn, and it happened with actor Hartley Sawyer. The actor who starred as detective-turned-superhero Ralph Dibny in the hit CW TV series The Flash was fired after old tweets were uncovered before he got hired for the show. Some have speculated that this was when the actor wanted an audience on him, and that the fired actor himself admitted to wanting some attention, albeit irresponsible. As there were many tweets of the actor, with some of them difficult to say on video, some have taken a fair bit of spotlight. This included Sawyer tweeting about a secret boob viewing at an audition, and that the only thing keeping him from making mildly racist comments was Reverend Al Sharpton. The CW channel was not having that, as they got rid of the actor as fast as a V9 solution from Star Labs. The channel had also got rid of one of their producers after alleged sexual misconduct. Is anything too over or too much for the culture today? People can only ask. Liam Neeson lashed out a confession. In many cases, actor Liam Neeson does indeed have a particular set of skills. And probably, one of those skills is getting too frank about something. In an interview talking about a dark film about revenge, Neeson was asked a question of his approach to channel the central of the film. Neeson explained a memory of Ireland 40 years prior to the interview that involved his friend who was allegedly raped by someone. Neeson had asked his friend about if they knew him, first and foremost, to which she answered no. Then, Neeson asked her a question that would make him a target of media: what color was he? After his friend replied that it was a black man, he went out to town with a conceivable weapon and waited for any black bastard to start a fight with him so that he could maim him. He later admitted in Good Morning America that he was ashamed to have such thoughts and glad that the act never happened, and that he went to get some help, and power walked if people could believe him. And believe them they did not. Piers Morgan proudly claims that, in comparison to Liam Neeson, he himself has never had a second in his life where he went around the streets looking for a random black man to kill, labeling Neeson as a murderous intent racist. People like Richard Blackwood have also given Neeson the racist tag for his thoughts. Nick Cannon also mocked him by shrugging of Neeson's claim to power walk the racism out. Joy Behar of The View also placed an emphasis that people like Neeson should keep their big mouths shut. Trevor Noah, who also voiced his opinion that Neeson did indeed have racist thoughts, and that clearly your particular set of skills doesn't include shutting the F up. And then, there are people like John Barnes who said that Neeson deserves a medal. To say that Liam Neeson went over his answer to a question about his film is a gross understatement. The transition of J.K. Rowling. To many fans, children, and adults, J.K. Rowling is an icon. She took her life and turned them around to worlds of imagination and fantasy. Many children are better for it, with her Harry Potter series making themes of friendship and inclusion a theme to embrace. She even had world records for her fast-selling novels, and even for hitting that 1 billion mark, as an author. It is sad to know that she, despite all her achievements, probably overstepped her marks with people in the transgender community. With what started as a retweet of a piece that remarked on the case of people who menstruate, which Rowling found nonsensical, as it could have just used the word women. To many transgendered people, who did not take lightly Rowling's response to the piece. Even more, the case, many in the community didn't like Rowling's response to the backlash that ensued. Rowling herself pointed out that she was traumatized by male violence, and that she respected trans people. That was not enough to convince detractors otherwise. In fact, it even earned some backlash from the wizardry world such as Emma Watson, Rupert Grint, Daniel Radcliffe, and Eddie Redmayne. Even worse, a couple of authors from Rowling's agency stepped out, as people from the agency had disagreements with educating themselves to the demand of transgendered people. Joke's on you. Jared Leto is many, many things. He is a singer of 30 Seconds to Mars. He is an Oscar award-winning actor for his role in the film, Dallas Buyers Club. He is also a Joker, no, really. In a list of actors that include multi-award actor Joaquin Phoenix and the late Heath Ledger, Leto has played the proverbial clown of Prince in the Suicide Squad film. Like Ledger and Phoenix, Leto is known as an actor of the method. His role as the Joker, despite great anticipation from many fans, has led to a fair amount of disappointment. This was after a series of activities that Leto did in order to act out the Joker. And, some of these were quite over the top and some is downright creepy. This included a set of gifts to his co-stars, which included a love letter, a dead pig, some anal beads, used condoms, a live rat, some bullets, and a sticky pornographic magazine, you can imagine. This was quite an experimental disturbance, and some of the cast supposedly even had to get psychiatric help. But, despite all the stuff Leto overdid, fans were left disappointed or weirded out by his version of Joker. Laurence Fox against woke culture. Singer and actor Laurence Fox have apparently gone too far in his comments about the woke culture of today, along with vegans. His infamous question time comments have been received with much vitriol. Including that Meghan Markle's reputation with Prince Harry was not a product of institutional racism by British media. And policies and approaches to political programs are more important than gender or sexual orientation, as regards politics. Along with the inclusion of a Sikh soldier in the film, 1917, of which he called incongruous. It doesn't help Fox's detractors that he is a white, privileged male in Britain. And, he would not date woke women if given the allowance. For fans of the show Lewis, this is quite the bummer. Rather than putting off his commentary, he has continued to relay his anti-woke via an article in The Spectator like the pitfalls of wrongthink. Insofar, he has had social media backlash, along with a number of threats at him and his family, and even death threats. A tiger in the woods. Though Tiger Woods is arguably one of the greatest professional golfers on this side of paradise, he is not without his faults. To the dismay of many of his accumulated fans, there were times that Woods wasn't exactly the model citizen that people imagined. At first, it was just a violation of traffic rules, as a product usually categorized as overdriving or careless driving. But, Woods wasn't just driving too fast for the lane, but that he made a one-car accident on the outskirts of his Orlando hometown. And, on Thanksgiving no less. No pun intended, but Tiger was not out of the woods yet. In a scandal that soon flamed his reputation, both as a professional golfer and as a husband, Tiger Woods had extramarital affairs, and these also included stars of adult films. As in the cases with our current climate, companies like Tag Heuer, Atant, and Gatorade, among others, dropped his sponsorships like a sack of potatoes. Adding insult to injury, Woods has not been able to win the big leagues for many years after that, due to injuries. Tiger Woods is one of the many examples of celebrities that overshot their bearings. McGregor vs. Nurmagomedov, Night of Punishment. Conor McGregor has always embraced his spot when it comes to controversy. In the past, he has promoted fights and with verbal barbs that generated headlines, for himself and the fighter he was up against. The confrontation leading up to the Khabib Nurmagomedov was a different story. On an April day, as Khabib Nurmagomedov and other fighters were on a bus in New York. Then, along comes to a shouting Conor McGregor throwing an object that shattered the window of the bus. Disappointing a good many, this act did not get McGregor in jail. This event caused a war of attrition between Nurmagomedov's camp and McGregor's camp. And, as one expects of Conor McGregor, he decided to up the ante in order to promote this mega fight. McGregor proceeded to verbally insult Nurmagomedov via a middle child angle, cowering behind false respect. McGregor also called Nurmagomedov's Egyptian manager a terrorist. McGregor even offered Nurmagomedov his own brand of whiskey, an insult directed at his conservative Muslim upbringing. As if they'd take back everything he said, McGregor's promotion antic went too far, with him saying that it was just business, as they locked horns in the octagon. This understandably enraged Nurmagomedov, which he unleashed in convincing fashion via a knockdown, along with numerous unanswerable takedowns, leading up to a painful submission hold that forced McGregor to quit and tap out. And, while it could have been redemption and victory, the rest of the night did not end in peace. True to his moniker, the Eagle made the king surrender, and climbed up the octagon cage and swooped in to punish one of McGregor's campmates, Dylan Dennis. This caused a great riot, with members of both sides even facing each other in the octagon. Apparently, Mike Tyson thought it was even crazier than his riot, back in 1997. In the aftermath, both men got suspended.